You know what's weird about those 3 a.m. low blood sugars? For years, I genuinely thought they were random. Like I must have miscounted something, or my body just decided to do its own thing and be difficult that night. And there's nothing worse than being jolted awake in the middle of the night with a bad low blood sugar. You're completely asleep, and suddenly your body hits the panic button. Sweaty, heart racing, disoriented, searching for sugar. And the next morning, you feel absolutely like garbage. You feel wrecked. If you've ever had a 3 a.m. low ruin your next day, let me know in the comments. What took me way too long to realize, having lived with type 1 diabetes for almost 44 years, raising two type 1 diabetic children, and I also worked in the field of diabetes education, is that 3 a.m. usually isn't when the problem starts. It's just when it shows up. Once I understood what was actually causing it, most of my nighttime lows stopped. I'll tell you the one shift I made in a minute. But first, this idea changed everything for me. I've got kids, and more than once, someone has put a pot on the stove, turned the burner on, and walked away. You think you'll be right back, but then life happens, and eventually something burns. Nobody says the stove randomly turned on. It was on the whole time. That's the 3 a.m. blood sugar. It's not when the burner turns on, it's when the smoke shows up. I'm curious, what usually happens for you around 8 or 9 p.m.? Do you correct? Do you snack just to keep that blood sugar a bit higher, just in case? You stack insulin? Drop one word in the comments: correct, snack, or stack. That window matters more than 3 a.m. When I started really looking at my data, especially early CGM days, I noticed something almost boring. My levels at midnight were pretty good. Then they slowly started to slope. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Not a cliff, but a slow, gentle slide. And it repeated time and again on my CGM. It was really eye-opening. That's when I stopped blaming the middle of the night and started looking at what I did before bed. On nights I'd train, I do Muay Thai, which is a high-intensity striking conditioning type activity. My glucose would spike predictably after training, and I would predictably overcorrect aggressively. Everything would look fine at 11 p.m., then I would be low in the middle of the night, usually around 2:30, every time. At first I blamed the workout, but it wasn't the workout alone. It was the correction, the timing, the overnight insulin sensitivity, normally that happens between midnight and 4 a.m. for most of us, and the overnight insulin sensitivity from the workout. So the burner had already been on. Here's the shift. Instead of asking, why did I crash? I started asking, what did I leave on? And that changed how I go to bed. Here's what I actually did. I created a no correction window before bed. Unless I absolutely have to, I don't stack insulin after about 8 or 9 p.m. If I'm slightly high but stable, I let my insulin pump automation do its job. If I already have insulin on board, I respect it. When I adjust something, I don't change 5 things. I go one variable, 3 nights, then I tweak. Same supper, 3 nights in a row, see what happens, and then I make a tweak. That one rule eliminated most of my 3 a.m. crashes. And my sleep is way calmer. So tonight, before bed, just pause and ask, is there anything I'm turning on right now that might show up later on? If this made you rethink what happens before bed, hit that like button. That tells me this series is helping. Hit the subscribe button, because this builds into something bigger. And if your numbers look good, but you still feel like garbage, watch this next.